All right, let's get right into it. A huge announcement just dropped in the world of AI, and believe me, it's set to change the game for what these systems are capable of. Let's break it all down. OpenAI just unveiled GPT 5.4, and the message they're sending is crystal clear. This is not just some minor update, we're talking about a brand new frontier model, one that's been specifically built for high-stakes professional work. So yeah, it's called GPT 5.4. And again, this is way more than just an incremental bump. You should think of it more like a fusion of all the latest breakthroughs. It's got advanced reasoning, it's got coding skills, and it has these new agent-like abilities, all rolled into one single powerful system. Really, at its heart, GPT 5.4 is built for the office, for the modern workplace. The whole idea behind it is centered on what professionals actually need. Accuracy, so you can actually trust what it puts out. Efficiency, so you're not going back and forth a million times. And reliability, so you get those top-notch results every single time. And when you look at the performance numbers, wow, they're just staggering. We're looking at benchmarks for professional tasks, for using a computer, for web research, and GPT 5.4 doesn't just edge out the last model. No, it creates this massive capability gap. I mean, we're seeing leaps of over 15, and in one case, almost 30 percentage points. That is huge. So what does a performance leap like that actually mean in the real world? Let's kick things off with how it handles the kind of complex, knowledge-based tasks that, well, define most of our jobs. Okay, this is the number you need to remember, 83%. On a test that covers 44 different professional jobs, GPT 5.4 either matched or flat out exceeded the quality of human experts in 83% of those comparisons. And this chart really shows you what that jump looks like. I mean, the previous model was already pretty impressive at just over 70%. But this new score, 83%, it shows that the gap between AI and top human performance is closing, and it's closing fast. And look, this isn't just some abstract theory. This stuff translates directly into better work. For spreadsheet analysis, its performance score shot up by almost 20 points. When it was asked to create presentations, human reviewers actually preferred its work 68% of the time. And maybe the most important thing here, it's a third less likely to make factual errors. That is a massive step for building trust in these tools. And of course, industry leaders are already seeing the potential. Brendan Foodie over at Mercor points out how good it is at handling those really complex, long-term projects. The kind of stuff that requires deep planning, like building a whole financial model or a legal analysis from the ground up. And we're seeing the exact same thing in really specialized fields. The legal AI firm Harvey says the model is setting a totally new standard for accuracy in document-heavy legal work. And that's an area where, one tiny mistake in a contract can have absolutely huge consequences. But all of this is building towards something that sounds like it's straight out of science fiction. We're talking about moving beyond AI as just a text generator and into the realm of AI as an agent that can actually operate your computer for you. I mean, this is a genuine paradigm shift. GPT 5.4 is the first big model from its creators that has the built-in, native ability to literally see what's on your screen and use a mouse and keyboard to interact with your apps just like you or I would. And the data on this is just mind-blowing. On a benchmark that tests its ability to actually get tasks done in a desktop environment, GPT 5.4 hits a 75% success rate. Now that's already a massive leap from 47%, but here's the real kicker. It actually surpasses reported human performance. Let me say that again. For these tasks, the AI is now better than a person. So how in the world does this work? Well, it's a pretty straightforward four-step process. First, it sees the screen by analyzing screenshots. Second, it figures out your goal from what you typed. Third, it plans out the sequence of actions, what buttons to click, what to type. And finally, it just does it. It executes those actions. It's this complete loop of seeing, thinking, and doing. Okay, so beyond all the cool user-facing features, there's also a major upgrade here for the developers, the people actually building with this stuff. Because let's face it, a more powerful model is only useful if it's also efficient to work with, especially when you're building at scale. So, developers have this common problem. When you want to give an AI access to a bunch of different tools, like APIs, you traditionally have to load the instructions for every single one into the prompt. This adds thousands of what are called tokens, basically pieces of data, and it makes every request slower and more expensive. But GPT 5.4 has this really clever solution called tool search. Instead of jamming everything in up front, the model just gets a simple list of the tools it has available, and only when it decides it needs a specific one does it go search for and pull that tool's instructions into the context. It's basically a just-in-time system for using tools. And the impact of this is huge. In one test with a big library of tools, this new method cut the total token usage by 47%. And it did that with absolutely zero loss in accuracy. For developers, that means one thing: faster, cheaper apps. So, after hearing about all these incredible new capabilities, I know what you're asking. When can I get my hands on it? And what's it going to cost me?
Well, the good news is the rollout is happening right now. If you're a ChatGPT user on a paid plan, it's becoming available as we speak, replacing the older model. For developers, it's already live in the API under new model names, and there's even a more powerful Pro version. Plus, it's also taking over in the Codex coding environment.
All right, let's talk pricing. Now, if you just look at the per token cost, yeah, it's a bit higher. But here's the crucial part. Because this new model is so much more efficient, it often uses way fewer tokens to solve the exact same problem. So what that means is the total cost for a lot of tasks could actually go down. And for those really heavy-duty jobs, there's that high-performance Pro model, which is available at a premium price. So, you can see this announcement is so much more than just a new model. It's an agent that can operate our software. It's a partner that can match professional-level quality. And it's a tool that's just getting smarter and more efficient. And all of this brings us to one final, really big question. As AI literally pulls up a chair and gets a seat at the desk, what does the future of work actually look like?